Hello, class. Hola, ¿cómo estás? This is Mike Kendall again, coming to you to talk about Once Upon a Coup. Now, Once Upon a Coup should be called Once Upon a Coup Attempt. Now, if this coup in Equatorial Guinea had actually occurred, what you would have seen is a black African nation um, with a dictator leadership being taken over by another black African by some other black Africans who would have fought, and these mercenaries who did the fighting, you would have known where the world they would have come from. All you would have known, all you would have heard about is why in the world are these people sitting around here fighting all the time with each other? Why can't they just get along? When in fact, what you actually have here was a foiled coup attempt that was basically financed by Westerners, um, and just like most coup attempts are in Africa. And so here you go. You even had Margaret Thatcher's son, actually one of the financiers. Margaret Thatcher, the great Prime Minister of Great Britain. The great British Prime Minister, Margaret Thatcher. Her son was in on the coup. The coup seemed to have gotten double crossed. But I'm getting way ahead of myself because I got to get this done in just a little while. Now, it seems what we have here is we're supposed to talk about 3 out of 5 issues dealing with this coup. We can talk about urbanization, education, economic power, or westernization. Well, what this coup was really all about was power. Not really power. It was really economic power. It was about money. How much money can we get? Now, if they were in a nation that didn't have anything, nobody would have cared. But they are sitting on all this oil in Equatorial Guinea. And since they're sitting on all this oil, everybody wants their little piece of it. And they'll do anything they can to get their little grubby hands on it. And so here we have this situation here. Now, so what we have, this is a story that starts out with a Spanish colony. Equatorial Guinea was a Spanish colony, so the Spanish had all the power. And then they were overthrown by the man who is now the leader there. His uncle took power after the Spanish were ousted, and he was pretty brutal. And so his nephew came in, and he was not as brutal as the uncle, but he held a firm hand. I mean, he held a hand on that thing. So there he was, holding it down, had a firm hand. He wasn't taking no prisoners. Well, he was taking some prisoners, but he was beating prisoners up. Now, so what we have here is of the issues that this is really dealing with. The big issue is really the money. It's really the economics. So how the story unfolds is around 2004. Some people decided that we're gonna get our hands on this money, so we're gonna stage a coup. They got some finances together. They got some guy named Simon Mann, who's just a mercenary, to go in and do the job. He was promised millions of dollars, like a third of all the money that Obang, who was currently the president or the ruler in Equatorial Guinea, of all the money he had abroad. This guy Simon Mann was like promised like a third of the money. It was all about the money. And so they go in there. They get some mercenaries from South Africa. They get some black guys from South Africa that used to actually fight on the side of apartheid. Got these guys, about 24 of them, and paid them some money to come over here and fight. Well, it seemed like they all got double crossed when they got to, I believe it was Zimbabwe. They got double crossed. They all got arrested, and that was the end of the whole coup attempt. Now, Obang, who was very upset because the Americans didn't support him, didn't protect him from this coup attempt. He got mad at the Americans, he got mad at the West and everybody else, and so ultimately he made friends with the Chinese. He said, the Chinese are my best friends. The Chinese are in here helping me build my country. I don't care about the fact that y'all don't like the Chinese. Hey, they're helping me out. I'm going to be down with the Chinese. So the Chinese ended up the big winners in the situation. Obang is still have power in his country, and oil is still plentiful available. if you've got the money to buy it. Amen. So you can go to the pump, still get your oil. But the Chinese have got their piece of the pie. Everybody's got their piece of the pie. And that's what this is all about. More power and the money or more about money and the power that money brings. And when it comes down to things about westernization, it's just it's east against west. It's really the east against west. It's just everybody's in for themselves. That's what was going on. Every man for himself. All right, that's Mike Kendall with his analysis of Once Upon a Coup. Bye bye. Where's the stop button?